It would appear we are live. Welcome, welcome, and happy Saturday. Maybe I'll wait till some folks jump in to say welcome. There's Monique. Monique, sorry, I didn't happen to see your super chat. Maybe over on Pinballs, maybe you were, or sorry, maybe I was making a comment or moderating at the time. I didn't see it. Hi, Laurie, how you doing? Nunya, Texas. I want to talk to you for a second after I say some hellos here. Manashi, good to see you. And Dale, hello, good to see you as always. We got 5x5s. Okay, thank you ever so much. Conjure Mama, there you are. Welcome. Hey, Sam, how you doing? Patty Bob, good to see you. Lovely to see you from Germany, my friend. Jeep even. Welcome, Monty. Terry Maddox is here. Good evening. Good to see you. Terry, I couldn't make Les's stream earlier. I was on the phone with my folks, so I'm going to have to catch a replay over there. Sheena, it's good to see you. Glenda, welcome. Oh, from Texas. Lovely. Shauna, Alaska. Texas to Alaska. Southern Boy Prepper. You guys stay safe down here tomorrow, down your way tomorrow, okay? Mrs. Southern Boy Prepper, that's Kelly there. It's good to see you. Yeah, stay safe, guys. No, Nunya, it's all good. It's all good. Coral Tiger, welcome. I think the chat bounced a little bit. I'm sorry if I miss anyone. I think I saw Charlie in there. JLA. Oh, you came from Pinball. That's awesome. Thank you. If I'm missing some people, Angie, I see you there. Mrs. Southern Boy Prepper, looks like you lost your wrench there somehow. I thought you were in blue there before. I'm not sure. That's weird. Oh, Glenda, Pinball sent you. Well, that's awesome. Welcome. Pinball, great guy. I'm happy to be moderating for him. There's Regan. Oh, you're all safe? Okay. All right, yeah, just make sure you get out of there if you need to. Hava, good to see you. Amy Broussard, good to see you as well. Vicky, Gene W, Off the Wall, Mama S, Gardner Josh. Off the Wall, if I hadn't said it already. Mark, how you doing? Welcome. Can I say hello to your daughter, Haley? Patty Bob asks, who's first-time viewer on the live stream. Well, hey, Haley, how you doing? Welcome. It is good to see you here this evening. So welcome. Lovely to see you. Happy Saturday. You might actually be Sunday. Yeah, you're kicking into Sunday over there right now, I believe. Haley, if you're in Germany with your pops. Guys and gals in the chat, why don't we take a minute to say hello to Patty Bob's daughter, Haley. First time in the chat here, all the way from Germany. Teresa D, hello and welcome. Rena, I see you there. Not so remote. Look at you. Welcome. Good to see you. Working quietly. Coral Tiger, if I hadn't said hello already. Keeping well enough here. Yeah, not terrible bad. There, that's nice. Yeah, tell Haley a nice hello, everyone. That's great. Lisa, how you doing? Welcome. Mark, hello. Isn't that nice? Look at all the nice hellos Haley's getting. Holy cow, there's Bjorn. All right, guys and gals, take a minute to say hello to Bjorn as well. Bjorn Andreas Bull Hansen. If any of you guys and gals don't know Bjorn's channel, maybe one of my moderators could please link that up. He's got a great channel. He's over in Norway, keeping his finger on the pulse of what's going on over there. And he's sharing it out all the time. If you don't know him, shame on you. Go check out Bjorn, please. Danny, hello. I don't think I said hello. Yeah, that's great. Lovely to have a nice channel like Bjorn's in here. There's lots of great channels in here already. So while you all are saying your hellos there, Nunya Texas left a comment on one of my videos, and I think it was the one about I think it was the one about where I said the UN says you should eat 14 grams of what? That one, Gray Sky. Hello. Yeah, Bjorn is legit for sure. Joe Morgan, welcome. Prepping in the Pisgah, welcome. Good to see you. Okay, so yeah, Nunya, Texas on the back 20 left me a comment on that video about the UN saying we should eat 14 grams of beef as our portion, right? And I think I left a comment on that video to ask other folks to leave comments in the chat of what their take was on it. And anyways, Nunya, Texas directed me to a video he was doing on, it was a promotional video. I think some chicken feed company had sent him some products food products to test for his chickens. And I think it was like mealworms or something like that. And he, in that video, he just throws a whole bunch of mealworms into his mouth and he starts chewing away on them. It was hilarious. Grumpy old man, welcome. Good to see you. So yeah, if you guys don't know Nunya, Texas on the back 20, great guy, awesome sense of humor. So please go check out that video. Hey Nunya, please go ahead and put it in bold here. What the name? Oh, Grub Terra. Yeah, the video for Nunya, Texas says Grub Terra in it. 14 grams of meat is the minimum to avoid dying from malnutrition. Okay, yeah, exactly, Bjorn. And other folks, I think Pinball commented in and he said, don't forget you need to supplement that with 8 ounces of bugs, right? Stephen, good to see you. Welcome. Hello, if I've missed anyone in the chat, I'd like to take the first few minutes to say hello to people and just welcome people into the chat. Francine, hello and welcome. Liberty Bell, I hadn't said hello yet. Welcome. That was according to Sean Baker. Okay. Okay, so for any of you who are new here to the chat, on Saturday evenings, I like to keep things very light. We do go over, we kind of recap the week a little bit, but we like to keep things fairly light just to lighten up the week because, you know, at the end of the week, there's already lots and lots that's gone on, right? So we like to keep things light, have a little bit of fun. Sometimes we'll do a room raid, sometimes not. It depends. Depends on the flow of the chat, right? So that's what we kind of do. We like to keep things a little bit light. Hobby Garden, hello and welcome. Jody, I don't think I said hello. Jay here, there you are. Sassy, Mitzi, holy cow, there's lots of new people here in the chat. Jenny D, there you are, welcome. Kelly, oh, you're also new here. Well, welcome to all who are new. I appreciate you coming in. You know, I hope we can find some levity here. Mark Webb, hello and welcome. Hope we can find some levity, a little bit of information, and have a light, good time. And informational, if you have questions a little later on, we can put those in caps. Leah, hello and welcome. Curl Tiger, I wanted to make sure everyone's got Papa Prepper in his prayers. Oh, Curl Tiger, okay, thank you for bringing that to my attention. I did see this, the thumbnail for his video, but I hadn't had time to get to it. So guys and gals, please keep Papa Bear Prepper in your prayers, that he and if any of his family are affected by this, that they all recover well, okay? For those of you who are praying types, others, well wishes, anything like that, out to Papa Prepper. Northern Girl Hobbies, welcome. It's good to see you. Okay, so again, hey Robert, welcome. For all you guys and gals who are new here into the chat, okay, Hobby Garden, yeah, Hobby Garden for Health has already gone into it here, sharing what the price per gallon or liter of fuel is, and we like to share that. Just roughly where you're from. We don't want your address or anything like that. But but roughly where you're from, what your price of fuel is, if you see a spike in, the average price of ground beef, those kinds of things. Oh, Shala? Okay, cool. Welcome. Well, welcome from Pinball's chat. Yeah, average daytime high, price of fuel. Fuel's up a little bit here, by the way, and your price of ground beef, daytime high. And if there's anything wonky going on, roughly where you're from, if there's any flooding or unusual drought or anything like that. Lisa Divine, welcome. It's good to see you. So that's what I'm going to call the skinny in the future. A lot of folks in here I recognize, and have been in my live streams for a long time. So what we're going to do, and they understand that we do these report on these prices every time just to get a consensus to see if we see a spike in any particular area in price, temperature, anything like that. So what we're going to call that from here on in is when I say, okay, what's the skinny? That's when we're going to report what we've got going on for our prices and our temperatures and things like that. Okay. So for me here, we had a daytime high of 78 degrees Fahrenheit. I'm not sure how that converts. Let me just go. No, I'm not going to mess with that. Earlier in the morning, it was 72, which was very, very nice and mild. Very, very low temperature. Not cool by any measure. Outside with a t-shirt and all those things. 780 per gallon in Norway. Goodness gracious, Bjorn. Just converted it from liters. Okay, yeah. Did you do imperial gallons or U.S. gallons? I think the conversion is 3.785 to get American gallons. For anyone who wants to do the math, if you're working in liters, you can go ahead and convert that for our American brothers and sisters if you care to. I'm going to do the conversion on this. Let me just pull up my calculator. I don't have my proper glasses on, but I should be able to see the calculator with these. So our fuel price here today was $1.38.9, which is that's a spike. Here, that's the highest I've seen it here. $1.38.9 times 3.785 gives us $5.25.7 per gallon is what we're seeing here, and that's the highest I've seen it in an extraordinarily long time. Extraordinarily long time. As far as the temperature goes, the high daytime high for 78 was moderate. For here. It's been hot. It's been in the mid 80s. 80K, man. I see a whole bunch of people jumping in. Yeah, 5.25. It's climbing. And there's Deep South Bama with Mr. Tom. Hamburger's average feels like $1.03. Okay, hang on a second. I want to catch. Sorry, guys and gals. I'm just going to back this up a little wee bit. The chat for myself. I want to. Mr. Tom. Okay, hamburger. $2.60 a pound. All right, that's. I wish it was $2.60 a pound here. It's about $6 a pound. Still holding right around at that. But the daytime high at 78 was mild, fair and mild. USD 780 per gallon per US gallon. Thank you, Bjorn. I appreciate that. Our American brothers and sisters will appreciate that as well. Thank you for doing that conversion. I appreciate that. Big Bear, look at you. Welcome. Yeah, 780. That's very, very expensive. Yeah, we saw Patty Bob in here. If Patty Bob's still in here, he's in Germany. Maybe he could chime in. Maybe he did already. I didn't see it. That's very possible. That the chat bounces pretty quick. Yeah, the prices are outrageous in. Yeah, there's Patty Bob. Okay. Yeah, he'll probably chime in with his fuel price if he hasn't already. But yeah, it was a nice fair day. New here. Where am I located? Callie, I'm in Canada as well. I'm on the north shore of Lake Ontario, about 1 hour east of Toronto. Okay. I'm right on the edge of urban sprawl. Like if I drive 5 minutes that way, I'm in apple orchards or equestrian farms or things like that. But there's thousands and thousands of acres of apple orchards. I'll have to take a drive through there, maybe in spring, when spring comes again, and all those. All right, Patty Bob, I'll do the math on that. $1.72, and maybe take you guys through a drive through orchard territory. What's all this, Mr. Tom? Just released your latest shopping video. I watched that. I left a comment on that, Mr. Tom. You must be busy watching other people's videos and live streams and hadn't got back to your comments just yet. I saw you got peppers there from Canada. Kalen Strain, doesn't matter on gas prices. Okay, let me just do the conversion on what Patty Bob said. $1.72, I believe it was, times 3.785 gives us $6.51 per U.S. gallon. That's what Patty Bob's paying over in Germany. So there's a big difference there between Germany and Norway, but they're still running neck and neck kind of deal. Okay, Bjorn is saying, as a side note, you have an electric car. It broke down and they can't repair it. It's a 2-year-old car. If we didn't already have a pedal car as well, we would have big problems. Gotcha, Bjorn. I hear you on that. Yeah, I did watch that video, Mr. Tom. Okay, so there was somebody over on Pinball Stream just earlier here. I think it was Jules. You know, when Pinball asked, what did y'all do to prep today? And Jules came up and answered, they felt ashamed about it. They said they did nothing to prep. They were tired, so they had a nap. So I chimed into Jules and I said, you were prepping your health, which is very, very important, right? Your health is also a prep. It should be your first prep. They can't figure out what's wrong. Well, I hope they can get it looked after for you, Bjorn. Oh, you're getting a new car. Okay, good. Good, yeah. Mobility is a good thing. Yeah, apples pulled right off the tree. You know, there's so much, so much fresh produce in this area with the apples, pears. There's blueberry farms. You know, lots of apple cider and good local produce being grown within minutes of here. You know, I'll take a drive one day through a subdivision that I worked on building about 3 years ago, and you know, those are $1 million homes, and they're on postage stamps, and like they're no great shake. It's a 2-story brick, 3 to 4 bedroom house, no real big deal. But they back onto and are adjacent to like orchards, and there's a golf course just behind it, and equestrian farms in behind that. Your wife got the electric car to avoid the insane taxes. Oh, okay. All right, that makes sense for driving on the road. Gotcha. So there's a tax for driving on the road. I think they include that in our sticker prices or anything like that. All right, yeah. So why doesn't everybody chime in on what they did to prep today? I'll actually go out and get you to show you what I did to prep today. I'm sorry to all who are new here. I don't always excuse myself from the chat. It does happen from time to time. I apologize. Lone Star Pioneering. There you are, Les. How are you doing? Sorry I didn't get into your live stream earlier when you texted me. I was on the phone with my mother, so I'm going to have to go watch the replay of your live stream this evening. But yeah, go ahead and chime in with what you guys and gals did to prep today, and we'll read some of them out. Northern Girl Hobby said she was doing some wood. Maybe my moderators can take this opportunity to go ahead and put up some links to some other channels here. Obviously, we should see Bjorn's pinballs as well. I'd like to see Nunya, Texas on the back 20. Ramona Perez, lovely to see you. Gray Sky did nothing. A time to spend with the husband. That's called relationship prepping. Okay? So don't think you're being neglectful. Those areas need attention as well, okay? That's awesome, Bjorn. Great. Yeah. Yeah, prepping does save money. You know, when you see a sale on something, capitalize on it. You know, because it's never going to be cheaper, right? You're having a Mickey's while you watch. I'm not sure what a Mickey's is. Let me just mention, everyone get lots of firewood. Okay, yeah, guys and gals, Bjorn's saying he sees a firewood shortage coming. So that's something definitely to think about. You know, you guys and gals that do heat with firewood or use it as your backup heat source, you should have done that in springtime or late winter when it was cool anyways. But if you haven't done it, you know, stock up on it. If you can get some more, please go ahead and get more. Ivan and Joanne, good to see you. Welcome. Sheila, well, to anyone who's having a libation this evening, cheers and welcome. It's good to see everyone here tonight, as it always is. Like I said, we like to keep things a little bit light, not talk too much about much heavy stuff. We can get into stuff a little bit. North, 40 ounce. Oh, malt liquor. Goodness gracious. Big green bottle, 5.6%. Well, cheers, M. Hammer. Thank you. I didn't know that. What did I do today? Okay. So while you guys and gals are chiming in with Olgard, welcome. It's good to see you here. Tammy, how you doing? Welcome. I see some more folks coming in. That is nice. Lua, there you are. Welcome. Mark was cleaning his protective devices today. That is awesome. No, Les. Nope, not yet. It's goofy the amount of time some things take. Regan and Kelly sent me a package, and it took like 9 days to get here. And Pinball sent me like a manila envelope, basically, you know, like a sheet of paper size, and it took 6 weeks. You know, a regular addressed letter in a regular envelope from Michigan took 6 weeks to get here too. So I can't make any sense of it. Can't make any sense of it whatsoever. That's it. Yeah, there go my moderators. Awesome. Please drop those links. That's another thing we like to do here is we like to promote other channels. Okay. Maybe Northern Girl, maybe we could see a link to East Tennessee preparedness, please. East has been at it for an awful long time, has a very good channel, and I think it's another channel worth supporting. So if we could see a link to that, that would be great. So what I did for prepping today is I did health prepping as well. Now, it's going to seem like a little bit of an oxymoron when I give you the details, but hear me out, okay? Okay, so I'm making some plans to you know, to get my smoking my meats done for the freezer for winter. Well, there's Quebec Homestead. Hey, Mallory, how you doing? That's another link we should see. Come on, Mal, put up your own link there, would you please? Yeah, all right, Les, I'll make sure I stay near my phone then. I don't always do. But if you're going to call, I'll make sure I've got my phone around me if I'm out in the garden or whatever I'm doing. So what I did today for my health, it was for my mental health, is I went out to the flea market. I hadn't been out to the flea market in a couple of months. Maybe 6-7 weeks. It had been a good long while. So I took a nice relaxing time, went over to the flea market, had a nice little saunter around, looking at all of the goods that were there to offer, and the vegetables were darn expensive, I'll tell you that. Oh, I'm missing some chat here, and I apologize. In Jesus' name we pray. Welcome. It's good to see you. Yeah, so I went out and got to the flea market just to get out of the house, and little change of. I'll get to what I bought here in a minute, Menashe. But this is part of your health prepping as well, your mental health. And now this is something Pinball mentioned in a video of his late last week. I think it was a Friday video of his. He was saying, go out and do something fun. Go out and do yard sales or anything like that. So after I was watching Constantine's live stream for a little bit earlier today, that's a great point, Bjorn. It's very important to have a library with good novels, fictional, and then, there's also informational ones that are great to have as well. But that's more, your technical or cooking or prepping library, your outdoors and bushcraft libraries, those kinds of things. But I think what Bjorn is referring to is fictional. Things to use to decompress, to take your mind off of things, right? Because we can't always think about the stressful things in life. It's not good for you. It's simply not good for you. You have to get out and you have to do things that are fun. We're social creatures. We need to get out and be social, right? So it's important to cover those bases. Your personal health and your mental health are both linked, right? So it's highly important to get out and do those things. Distract yourself with a novel. Now, if anyone here doesn't know Bjorn, Bjorn himself is a novelist. So please go check out his channel, and you may enjoy some of the things that he writes. I'm not sure if they're published in English or not. Bjorn, if you could chime in on that, that would be wonderful to let the folks know. And if so or if not, maybe we can see a link to Bjorn's page again for people to go find him over there and have a look at some of the novels that he's written. So. Okay, so I got out to the flea market, and now this is something I had been craving. Oh, they're not published in English yet? Okay. I appreciate you chiming in. I think I might have seen that in a video of yours last week. I think you might have mentioned that. Whether that case had changed or not, I obviously I hadn't stayed current on that. Dusty Data, welcome. It is good to see you. Aaron, hello and welcome. All right, so I had a bit of a selfish purpose to go out to the flea market today. 9 other languages. Wow, okay, that's awesome. Okay, the agent has to secure a deal on the English end of it. Gotcha. Publishing deal in English. Gotcha. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to admit it right now. My sole purpose and intention for going out to the flea market today was absolutely selfish. It was selfish and self-indulgent. I went out to the flea market today, of course, to get some sunshine and be social, have a little walk around and entertainment, looking at the things, and talking to my Militaria dealer, things like that. But I went over to that particular flea market to get myself a dirty, filthy, greasy cheeseburger. There's an outdoor booth. They sell sausage on a bun, big hot dogs on a bun, burgers on a bun, and I think they have pea meal bacon on a bun as well, which is a Canadian delicacy for those of you who don't know. I will be doing more videos on that as I'm prepping my winter freezer. I'll be in the next number of days. I'll be smoking some meats. I'll be brining them, smoking them, and if I can find a decent sale on pork, I'll be doing another round of pea meal bacon. I'll do a few nice roasts and show you guys how to brine that down. Very, very simple to do and delicious. Very, very tasty. So yes, I went over to get a dirty, dirty, dirty cheeseburger. Greasy. Yes, it was delicious. Yes, it was. Sam, yes, I must admit it. Did I cut that into 24 pieces? Behave yourself. No, I most certainly did not. I cut it into 24 pieces, gave 23 of them away, ate my piece off a toothpick, and then went and ate 10 ounces of bugs. Yeah, I'm not sure how that would go here, Mr. Tom. I can always inquire to the local folks because you'll be shocked at some of the prices. Okay, average price here for your decent cuts of beef is $25 per pound. And that's our money. That's Canadian. Jason, welcome. And if you're talking tenderloin, it might be a little bit more expensive than that. Okay, yeah, Bjorn. All right, is your average price for tenderloin over there like $58 a kilo, like it is here? Like we get Mexican beef tenderloin, or we get AAA prime Canadian beef tenderloin, which is obviously preferred. The AAA Canadian high-end stuff that you get out of the meat, like the butcher's counter, not that's already pre-packaged, shipped in from Mexico. That is not the preferred stuff. Absolutely not preferred. But yeah, Mr. Tom, $25 a pound for the good stuff. The tenderloin and like very, very top quality, nice rib steaks, things like that. Red meat is crazy expensive there. You eating red meat as health insurance? So you don't look at the price. Okay, for a lot of people, they're like that with fuel. They're like, I don't even look at the price. I got to pay for it anyways. I need it. No sense complaining. So I get that mindset. So I went over there and I got myself that dirty, filthy cheeseburger I had been craving for, I don't know, since I grilled the last cheeseburger on the barbecue here at home. It's just not the same. You can take all the care and put all the different ingredients in it you want to flavor it up. But when you get a dirty, greasy, filthy one from the flea market, it's just, for some reason, it just tastes better. There's Bomber Steve in here. Okay, so far, we've got Norway, we've got Germany, we have Australia, obviously, United States of America, Canada. I'd say this is definitely a global chat. That is awesome. I like to see folks from all over. I believe that is just awesome. Disavowed podcast? No, it's not broken. It's set exactly where it needs to be. Cheeseburger is mental health food. Exactly. So Morning Light, it is a bit of an oxymoron saying I went to the flea market for personal health purposes, mental health purposes, but and the cheeseburger is part of that. Also, while I was there, I happened to get myself a new belt. And This one was a little bit too large for me, so the gentleman I purchased it from, him and his wife had the booth there. He went ahead and he knocked, let me see, he knocked 3 extra holes in it because I'm fairly thin, and this belt was just a little bit too big. Should try making myself a bacon double cheeseburger with some salad with a little bit of mayonnaise and burger relish. Well, I've done that before. Yeah, absolutely. I've done bacon stuffed burgers. I've done bacon wrapped blue cheese stuffed burgers. Lori, there you are. Yes, you would like to see me play some records. All right, all right. I'll do a video of me putting the belt on that and getting the turntable up and running. But I mean, I'm going to get a strike guaranteed if I play any records. You know that. I don't want to get a strike on my channel. Guys and gals that are new here in the chat, what Lori is referring to is I have a vintage, beautiful vintage Kenwood stereo system over here. This is the amplifier. This is the tuner, both matching, and they're out of the early 70s. And these were so high-end at the time, you could not walk into a store and buy these. I bought these off of a doctor who was selling them secondhand many, many years later. I bought them about 8 years ago, and I had them all rebuilt. And my turntable up there, I blew the belt on it just as the whole CV19er started to take place, and I haven't been able to spin records since then. Now, my good friend Lori, who all you guys and gals in the chat here know as, hey Ark, Arkansas Living, how you doing? She went ahead and she sent me a brand new belt for my turntable. So yes, I have been remiss in installing that. But yes, I do love vintage vinyl and playing it on my vintage system. The sound is incredible. It's not like any CD or a computer file or anything like that. No, 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 Northern Girl, you didn't auction that off. No, no, no. Bjorn, sometimes when I leave the room, they auction my stuff off, like my couch or this Haitian folk art painting here. They'll auction these things off, my lamps, my vintage marble-based lamps. They auction stuff off on me. Northern Girl Hobbies is trying to say they auctioned my stereo system off. And let me tell you something, Northern Girl. I'm still waiting for the silver that you owe me for this couch. That was $3 grand, right? Wasn't it? So behave yourself. We like to have a little bit of fun here. So, Mr. Tom, you auctioned it off. Well, goodness gracious. Bjorn, sometimes I'm outside, I'll take this webcam. This is hooked to my desktop. And I've got enough cord, I can take it outside the door and show my barbecue. So sometimes I'll take it out there and I'll be doing barbecue while I live stream or whatever. And if I leave to come inside and grab another ingredient or something, they'll auction off my my cookware or my pepper grinder or things like that, right behind my back in front of my face while I'm not watching. So these are the kinds of subscribers that I have. They like to have fun, and we like to decompress and keep things a little bit light. Yes, it's a prepping channel, so we do all those kinds of things. You know, mostly in my videos, I do those there. Morning Light North Shore does not own a Speedo. Never has, never will. Just say no to a Speedo. If you can't swim with no clothes on at all, you know, what do you need a Speedo for? Menashe, well, no. If she's buying my couch for $3 grand, so how much for the man's hat? Well, Bjorn, you can find my email address in my About Me section. If you send me your address, I'll send you this hat. I'll wash it first, of course, but over at the flea market I was at today, that's where my military dealer is, and that's where I get all my you know, my camouflage pants, and that's where this hat came from. I was Actually doing a little bit of knife shopping over there today. I saw some nice things, but I did not have that planned in the budget. But Bjorn, send me your post office box. I don't want your personal address. If you send me your post office box, Lorna, you behave yourself. I'll be happy to send you this hat. No cost. You have a massive big head? All right, Bjorn. Well, do you know what? You do have a lovely big beard. I didn't know it was attached to a really, really big head. Like maybe the beard and the hair hides it a little bit. I'm not sure. I really don't know. But that's kind of funny when when people admit to those things. Yeah, I have a ridiculously huge head or whatever. I've heard a few people say that before, and it's it's always funny to hear someone say. But I mean, you know, guys and gals, like this is a prepping channel, so if you've got prepping questions, we can go ahead and ask those, and you can ask them of me. If you ask them of me, please highlight my name or put it in capitals. If you ask it of others in the chat, lowercase is better. Ark, you behave yourself. You don't even have a good beard. I'll still send you my beard, Arkansas 11, if you send me your big floppy hat. Bjorn, go check out Arkansas 11. He's got this great big old floppy hat. It's awesome. He's a heck of a nice guy, very, very funny guy, and good information too, right? Shaving live auction. No. No. If I shave off my beard, it's going to Arkansas 11, but only if he sends me his great big old floppy straw hat. That's it. That's the trade for that. That's it. Is Metal in here? Boom, there he is. Bro, it's move-in day, isn't it? That's my brother, Metal for Breakfast 2.0. Him and his family just moved into their new residence today. Congratulations, bro. That is awesome. Which seeds would I recommend you not freeze? Well, I don't really think it matters. I think a lot of most seeds can go into a state of stasis where they're sort of completely dehydrated, like naturally, due to weather conditions or whichever, can go into a completely dry and dormant state. That can be caused by freezing as well. But say for example, tropical seeds might not be, you know, that aren't acclimatized to a sort of frozen region. You know, I might suggest things like that, but you know, like all of my southern brothers and sisters down in Louisiana and across Alabama and Texas and down in all through there, it's hot, hot, hot down there, right? But they all grow yellow beans and cucumbers just the same as we do up here. So, and they make out just fine. Now, perhaps some do, some seed varieties do better in hotter climates or are designed to a drier climate, whatever it might be, or more cold tolerant. But I think if I had to take a stab at what seeds to not freeze, I would say anything out of the tropics. And I would probably be wrong in most cases. They would probably be all fine to freeze. Like a lot of seeds will drop down into the ground or into the forest floor, and they'll remain dormant until a fire comes along and burns right across it there. And that will activate the seeds. So it's, you know, there's no telling. It's very individual, I guess, on how each seed reacts to their own environment and their own region. But, you know, as far as keeping seeds, if you want to keep them for a very, very, very long time, sure, you can keep them frozen, and, you know, that's likely fine. But I've sprouted seeds that are 10 years old that were just stored in a dry area and kept, you know, cool and dark, right? Tanya, East Texas, welcome. It's good to see you. hello to anyone else who is new in the chat that I may not have said hello to. Welcome, good evening, and happy Saturday. That's a pretty good question, though. Thank you. I appreciate that. Just knowing how to grow a tomato. Highly, highly important, which is exactly what I'm doing in my backyard. I'm experimenting. Have been for the last 2 years with success. Some unwanted success. Hey, Rooster, welcome. It's good to see you. Hickory Crop Farm, absolutely. Guys and gals, Hickory Crop Farm is another great channel, okay? For farming and homesteading. Great information, very, very knowledgeable folks over there. So if you have some interest in that, go check them out. Go check out Quebec Homestead. Thorhaven Farms is another great channel as well. I'd like to shout out. So if any of my moderators have time to bust out, okay, I see Stu's doing some links to that. Quebec Homestead, yeah, we could have a link for that. Thorhaven Farms would be awesome. Northern Girl, thank you for busting out Bjorn's link again. That's great. That's probably for his YouTube channel. Now I know he's got a few different channels. So Tanya, well, hello, welcome. It's good to see you. Vester, all is well, thank you. Hope all is well on your end as well. $80K, man, that's what happened to me last year. Planted a new garden and boom, it exploded on me. My tomatoes were 10 feet tall. Crazy. It was crazy. Cherokee, hey James, how you doing? Welcome. Good to see you. We had a weird growing season here. Damn New York City, we had a strange growing season. It was cool. Then it was hot, hot, hot. Then it cooled right off. Then it was wet. Then it was hot, hot, hot again. Then it was like drought. And now we've had rain again here this evening. You know what? I watered, I went out on the porch on this side of my house and I watered, I have some pole beans growing there on the porch. I watered those, came in and I was doing some other things, had a break, and I filled my garden watering jug again. And I went onto the other porch to water the things that I had out there on that side of the house. And it was raining down very, very hard. It's like, okay, Mother Nature just saved me a trip or two out to the garden carrying water. So that was great. That was great. So everyone's well, everyone's safe, everyone's been prepping. To all of my southern brothers and sisters who may be in the path of the storm, Regan and Kelly, anyone down southern Texas maybe even, Mr. Tom, anyone down through Alabama, Mississippi, please stay safe. Send prayers, guys and gals, down to all the folks down there that they stay out of the path of the storm, okay? When do we usually have our first frost? Okay. Treasures in Kentucky. It's typically in and around the end of October. Now, word around the campfire is, and I've heard this from many different sources, that we're going to have an early winter here. So we may get our first frost end of October, and it may just stay. You know what I mean? So, like there's lots of guys and gals here from my region. So just heads up on that. Maybe Hickory Croft, if you're still here, if you got any heads up on what you see coming for as far as what our first frost is going to do and things like that. You know, I'm not sure if you've looked at the Farmer's Almanac or some other source where you get your information, but that would be awesome if you could chime in on that. Radio Prepper, welcome. It's good to see you. Guys and gals, for your communications and ham radio skills, please go see K0 MRD Radio Prepper. for a wealth of knowledge on that subject. It's not everyone's best subject, so if you can get some learning done about ham radios, if you have an interest in that, and those sorts of communications, please go see K0MRD Radio Prepper. Well, Bigfoot, hello, how are you? Welcome, brother. It is good to see you. I don't know who's texting me right now. It's probably one of you guys and gals on the live stream, and if it is, behave yourself. That's Lori. I can't see what that is. Lori, I'm going to have to pick this up a little after. I'm in the middle of something right here, right now. But I'll get to that as soon as I'm done this live stream, Lori. I'm missing some stuff. Sorry, guys and gals. I'm going to scroll up just a little wee bit. I missed a bit of stuff, and I don't want to miss anything here. Okay, I think I caught what I was looking to see. I appreciate that. Thank you, guys and gals, for indulging me there. Okay, Hickory Croft is chiming in saying, I've been hearing the same thing. Winter setting in early. Well, I've been watching the birds. I've been noticing migration already. All right, that's interesting you say that, Hickory Croft. Okay, you guys know almost exactly where I am. My folks are pretty much 2 hours due north of me. I was on the phone with them this evening, and my mother was chiming in with the same thing, saying about the birds. So, very, very interesting. Oh, you can't text, you don't have my number. You can find it if you want to. Nose picking, I hadn't said hello. She was having rainstorms earlier. She might be in bed with a flea bag on her head right now. How long will chicken broth last if you can it? If you pressure can chicken broth, if you have good success with your canning, it should last just fine until the seal on your jar fails. Now, what I believe all of the regulatory bodies say is that a year to 18 months for pretty much anything that you pressure can. That's just them covering their butts. I'll also qualify it by saying that I've heard plenty of people, including lots and lots of well-known larger prepper channels, like the Alaska Prepper, having test tasted foods that are have been canned in his pantry for 5 years or more, and it's been just fine. I'm not saying that that is recommended. I'm saying that this is what I've seen. What is recommended is a year to 18 months. A Faraday envelope for the USB sticks. Yeah, that's a great idea. Thanks for bringing that up, Bjorn, too. In case anyone hadn't heard, there's supposed to be some type of coronal mass ejection expected tomorrow, to my understanding. I haven't gone in and done the research. Been busy looking at other things, relaxing and decompressing. I have heard that. I just didn't... Southernmost, exactly, yeah. I just haven't gone and done the research on it myself as yet, guys and gals. I'd better get on this a little bit, or this libation is going to have to drink itself. No, Bjorn, not that. Say no to the blue pill. No, coronal mass ejection. Not erection. Not erection. Maybe it depends what kind of accent you have. Yeah, you know, that's Bjorn, I guess. I've seen him have some fun in some other folks' chats too, so it's nice to see people be able to enjoy their sense of humor. That's great. Okay, boom. Hickory Croft just said currently eating 9-year-old relish we canned. Boom. Oldest chicken broth that you have used is 4 years. But they don't usually last that long. You eat them. Okay, thank you. Thank you for chiming in on that. 9 years. Okay, that was probably okay. If it's a relish, that's probably not pressure canned. That was probably a water bath canned. Hickory Croft. If you could chime in on that. That relish was water bath canned. You typically water bath can a relish. You don't necessarily have to. Depending what's in your relish, you may have to pressure can it. Just use Roma tomatoes canned in 12. Awesome. Okay, so that's 9 years right there, Rooster. Okay, thank you. That's great. Okay, so now you have lots of information on that, lots of different aspects from different sources, which is always great, you know. Do I prefer canning or freezing? I prefer canning myself. I have limited freezer space. So what I've done previously, actually, I'll give you an example why. Katie came in. Okay, so not long ago, I was cleaning up my freezer to make space because I knew I was having an influx of smoked meats to put in my freezer for winter. Okay, and I found on some sales some inexpensive, some very nice sales on breakfast sausages, and I needed to clear out my freezer. So I had 3 large packages of them. I saved nearly 50% on each package. So I had to buy them at the time when I saw them. It was great, but I needed to clear out my freezer. So I went ahead and I pressure canned those breakfast sausages. Okay. Now, as far as frozen goes, frozen breakfast sausages, if you get a year out of them before they start to get freezer burned, if they're in vacuum sealed or anything like that, that's starting to push the bounds of reality. Now, folks in the chat are saying they're eating canned foods that are 9 years old. That'll tell you right there why I prefer canning as opposed to freezing. Freezer, you need to keep running. This is shelf stable, as long as you keep it out of the sun and don't give it massive fluctuations in temperature, it should be fine for a number of years. So that's one of the reasons why I prefer canning. Now, I especially like dry canning with the oven because it's so simple to do. Arkansas Living just chimed in, ate some roast beef out of the can from a few years ago. Tasted great. Perfect. I love dry canning in the oven because it's so easy to do. And I also like dehydrating a lot as well. They're both very, very easy to do. That's one of the reasons why I love them, simplicity. Can you can hot dogs? If so, how? That's okay. No, you would just, it's a meat, so you would can it for the exact same time. Okay, so if they're, if you're going to fit them into a pint-sized jar, you would need little smaller cocktail weenies, right? But if you have a regular size hot dog, you're going to want to put it in quart jars. And when you're canning quart jars of meat, same as quart jars of beans, pressure can them at whatever pressure is good for your elevation for 90 minutes. Might do something strange to the texture, but here's something you recently learned. Fresh red meat will supply you with most vitamins and minerals, etc., contrary to popular belief. But if it's dried or preserved, it won't. Okay, so something is lost in that process, Bjorn. I understand that. It's a process. Most vitamins and minerals. Okay. The proteins might remain the same. Okay, so maybe some of the vitamins and minerals will get destroyed through that process. It's understandable. Sausage and beans and weenies. Yeah, okay. I'm missing a little bit of chat here, guys and gals. Have I wanted rostered homestead? I recommend you do some sometimes. I'm not sure Not sure if I understand the question there. Let me just read that again, please. Sean, have you wanted rostered homestead? Recommend you do sometimes. Love her canning videos. Rostered homestead. I'm not familiar with that one, or maybe I'm not saying the name right. I do watch a lot of homesteading channels, that's for sure. And Quebec Homestead is one of my favorites. Go check them out. That's my sister Mallory up in Quebec. She's expecting a package from me. Mallory, you do a video of that. Make a little video when you open that parcel. When I shipped it the other day, I think I said it was 6 business days is what the post office told me. You should get it. So it should arrive by. I sent it on Friday, Thursday or Friday. You should have it by Thursday or Friday, no problem. What about vegan prepping? Lots of beans, nuts. Now nuts won't store as long because they're higher in fats, but they'll store for a little good spell. You know what I mean? Other sources of protein, vegetables that are higher in protein. You can grow kale, even in winter. Our winters are not that fair here. You hate to eat it. I understand the body has a difficult time digesting the fibers in from kale. To my understanding, I tried it once and it was kind of like chewing on a Brillo pad. I didn't care for it much, so I haven't. No, Mallory, you're on your way. Okay. You stay well and safe, okay? Do a video of that parcel. Unbox that. And I want to see what you do with the Spam. Make a cooking video of that. Oh, and Mallory, if you want the recipe for the Dijon mustard, just shoot me a text and I'll be happy to text you that if you enjoy it. Spam, yeah, Spam. It's the bane of Jason's existence. Rice and beans give you complete proteins and amino acids. 100%. Young kale. You know what? I've tried kale sprouts, like sprouts that you grow in a little jar. Let me show you. All right, I'm currently not doing any sprouts at the moment, but that's my sprouting jar. But yes, kale can be sprouted, or even microgreens are good for that. So yeah, okay, kale in the microgreens or sprouts, huh? That's interesting. I don't know. I've got a couple of different blends of sprout mix seeds. Whether any of them have kale in it, though, I'm not sure. I know I have one's a salad blend and one is a sandwich blend. Some of them have radish and mustard sprouts in them, which will, the radish will obviously give it a nice peppery flavor to your sprouts and microgreens. Alfalfa sprouts, yeah, that's in some of them as well, 100%. Rice and beans, potatoes, yeah. Hey, cabbage and beans with pasta. Cabbage and beans with rice. So many great soups that you can make just with a blend of beans and rice. Maybe some tomato product in there, onion, carrot. Did I use the dehydrator? I'm using it right now. Laurie, I've got green peppers in it. I think it's outside getting rained on. Sean, can you fishing for salmon up your way? Mr. Tom, yes, we can. But the salmon that we get here in my immediate area, they're all coming up out of Lake Ontario. And you don't want to eat those anyways because they're poisoned with mercury. Yeah, to my opinion, anyways. You know, our buddy Sean in Alaska, um, he's got much more pure water up his way, where he can do some nice salmon fishing. Salmon fishing you definitely want to do in a cleaner, more pure rivers, away from massive freshwater lakes like Lake Ontario or anything like that, which may be highly contaminated with pollutants. Personally, I wouldn't eat. I'll never say never, but I'm not fishing for anything in Lake Ontario to eat. There's great lake trout fishing in there. There's good salmon fishing in there. As I understand, also nice walleye, pickerel. I've done good bass fishing on Lake Ontario, but I'm not going to eat anything from Lake Ontario. They can get bitter tasting if you overcook them. You really want to make sure you take all of the fat off to try and detract from that. Okay, that's Lori sending me some more links. Lori, I'll get to that just here when I'm done with my live stream. Lori. Yeah, lake trout in Lake Ontario. Yeah, huge, nice big lake trout, but I'm not going to eat those. Not me personally, anyways. That's my personal choice. There's a book that's put out by the Ministry of Natural Resources in Canada that will tell you how much fish you can eat of what species from each body of water in Canada. And it lists them all. So, and go moose hunting. I haven't fished for sport in over a decade. I'll fish to eat, not for sport. And I haven't maintained my hunting licenses, nor do I have anything worthy of hunting a moose with, Mr. Tom. So it probably cost me about $5,000 to put me in a position to go moose hunting this winter, and I'm not in a position to be able to do that, nor do I have the interest, because I simply don't have anywhere to put it. Moose is lovely. One of the best pepperonis I ever had was moose pepperoni. Delicious. I've eaten smoked bear. That was like the best roast beef I had ever tasted. Smoked fishes, smoked trout, venison meat, obviously, wild rabbit and partridge and things like that as well. Oh, you're on a lots of meat diet. Okay, most of your calories from meat. Moose is delicious, although it's very, very lean. Damn New York City, very extraordinarily lean. Like it might be more lean than venison. You have to be very, very careful that you don't when you cook it out. It's not tough. You have to braise that. Like you want to do it as a roast, or if you're going to barbecue them as steaks, you don't want to. Well, with the firearms and the permits and travel, and I don't have anywhere to store it. I've got no freezers or anything like that. I'd have to buy 1,000 canning jars to can up a moose. Yeah, a few carnivores in here. Definitely, Stuart. We are not interested in the United Nations suggestion of 14 grams of protein for your beef serving. It's ludicrous. Or for any serving. Tell that to a chicken lover. Okay, your protein portion for your chicken is now cut down to 14 grams. That's like a small bite on a fork. Oh, bear is your the youngest daughter's favorite food. Well, the one that I had was smoked, and it was cold when I tasted it. I went over to the the fellow's place that was smoking it, and he had this manufactured smoker out of an old fridge. He took it right out of there while it was smoking. He cut a piece off of it, handed it to me. I ate on it, and it didn't have any of that wild bear taste to it at all. It was just nice. It was like the most flavorful roast beef you'd ever had. Your wife is Bear Clan? Fort Langford. My best dead friend Tom is Bear Island Clan from Bear Island in on Lake Temagami. Yeah, exactly, Bjorn. It's just provoking. Like that's barely even the salt and pepper, the seasonings you need on. Uh, yeah, kind of a silly statement, I think, on the UN's part. But I put out a video asking, um, folks what their thoughts were. 500 grams of meat per week. I'm not sure on that, Mr. Tom. I haven't seen what their latest was. I was working off a piece of old news, maybe from a week and a half or 2 weeks ago, and I just kind of wanted to chime in on. And to be honest with you, when I put out that video, a lot of you guys and gals left responses, and many of them were absolutely hilarious. Hilarious. What it is provoking, yeah. Bjorn, go over and have a look at that video of mine. It's like the UN wants us to eat 14 grams of what I think it's called if you want to look for it. But some of the answers that you guys and gals left are just hilarious, and it was definitely provoking some of those comments. I must say, it's nice to see the guys and gals in chat and that watch the videos, that leave comments on the videos. It's nice to see them let out their sense of humor from time to time. So always fun to see when things take a turn like that. Cheesecake. I'll be right there, Em. Yeah, I like cheesecake. Have you been left a couple of unsavory comments? That's okay, as long as they're just try and be polite, so that if children can read it, because sometimes parents will read it with their children. So it didn't mean to blow up 2 seconds after subscribing. That's okay. More meat for the rest of us. Yeah, no kidding, Bjorn, right? Like 14 grams of meat per person. Okay, hang on a second. Boom. The global food shortage has just been solved. Because the UN said you got to share that 12-ounce steak with 23 of your best friends. 3 weeks and your wine is still bubbling. Let it roll another week. Keep it in the same dark, warm area that you have it in. And yeah, it should roll for another week. I think I'm on roughly week 3 myself. So mine also has another week to go. I need to put another white wine back, because it's time to make Dijon. And I use my white wine for that, and I don't want to be left without any, so I need to make more wine. I made 5 jugs of it, and that's not going to be enough for winter. I hardly drink it. I'll have the odd glass, but it's mostly for cooking and cooking ingredients. And it's going to be hardly enough. Shot of beef tartare 20. Boom. There you go. Doing beef tartare shots. Ragnarok, welcome. Pafford Homestead, hello and welcome. It's good to see you. Can I do a taste test vid on a wine or the mustard, or I'm not Sonoma Mia? I'm not sure exactly. Can you ask your question a little bit more clearly, please? And if you could put it in caps, guys and gals, if you got anything specifically for me, if you could put it in capital letters, It makes it a whole lot easier for me to read. Oh, on the wine, I can do a taste test, sure. I mean, I've enjoyed a glass of that wine while I was on a live stream before here, but I can do that. Yeah, I can do a taste test. Sure, absolutely. You only share the steak with your dogs. Your dogs are lovely, by the way, Bjorn. That was a nice rescue there. I hope you seem happy with them, so I hope you're happy with them. Brining is good. Yeah, I'm going to do a video here in the next day or so on brining. Now my brine I'm going to do is just for smoking my meats for winter. And those are for cooking other things, okay? So I don't get too crazy with flavor profiles in my brine, and I don't, because what I'm going to use the meats for, I don't put a rub on the outside of them either when I do my brining. It's just when I do my smoking. It's just a very, very simple brine, mostly consisting of brown sugar and salt, of course, liquid water. I'll use, and that's about it. Like I said, I'll do a video a couple of days in advance of when I do my smoking. Now I think it's supposed to be what are we here, Saturday? Okay, I think it's supposed to be favorable outdoors either Monday or Tuesday to do some smoking. I'll have a look at the weather forecast, and a couple of days before I do my smoking, I'll do a brine video. You know, obviously to cook it and cool it down in the refrigerator overnight, and then I want the brine. I want things to brine for 24 hours or whichever, right? I make lovely smoked chickens, Lazy Divine, and then sometimes I'll rip those smoked chickens apart, and I'll make homemade smoked chicken and mushroom raviolis. Your hounds are your best prep. Could tell them out in the woods. They would track down and take down deer independently. Whoa, awesome, Bjorn. I love your trips into the woods. You have a lovely area around you. What flavor profiling is grilled cheese? Well, I'd say that's a savory, cheesy profile. I would think. But that would depend if you dip it in ketchup. Are you a ketchup dipper, Lori? Because then it's cheese and tomato flavor profile. Okay. Cayenne pepper. Okay. Yeah. You can throw in chili flakes, cayenne pepper. You can throw in anything you want, really. You can put in turmeric if you want turmeric. Any flavor profile you want to create, you can do that with a brine. The whole purpose of a brine is for the salts, and in this case, the salt and the sugars. Now, the sugars that I'm using in there are mostly for the caramelization of color and smoke on the outside of the meat. So it'll just give it a nice, dark, rich tone to it. But yeah, you can create whatever flavor profile you want to for your brines. Spicy, not spicy. And I'll do different brine for different things. Like when I make my pea-meal bacon, I do a completely different brine, and it has apple cider vinegar in it for that sort of pickling quality. Because you don't get that pickling quality without an acid. I'm hearing music outside. Now, I know there was a gathering across the street. There was about 15 cars across the road over there earlier today before the rain came. Maybe they're out there having some music. Do I make sausage? I have not made sausage yet. No, I have not. Oh, that you hang to dry. No, I've looked around and not a lot, but we seem to have not an easy time of finding those pink curing salts here in Canada. Now I do have some of the other one. I think they call them Prague salts number 1 and Prague salts number 2. I believe I have a bunch of the white one, number 2, but I do not have any of the pink. So I haven't been able to do any dry curing as yet. However, I do know of a recipe where you can make homemade salami without that dry curing process. It's sort of faux homemade salami, but it has all the flavor profiles in place. Oh, absolutely, you can dry meat right out in the open with salt. 100%. Yep. 80K, man. I couldn't agree more. Nah, the music's not loud enough for just to pick up on it. I can just hear it out through the door. Fort, you're on your way? All right, you stay well and safe, okay? Build a rabbity. Oh, a rabbitry. All right, well, much success with that tomorrow then. Wishing you a good rest. They can eat peas and carrots and rice. Yep. Amazon has the pink salt. I don't do a whole lot of online shopping. Maybe I should look into that a little bit more. They may or may not ship that product to Canada. Share on my video sometime. Share what, Manashi? I'm not sure. You guys and gals need to be a little bit more specific sometimes when you say something. I may say something to you, respond to what you said, then say 5 other things, and then you respond again. And I've by that time I've forgotten, the last 4 or 5 comments. Especially if I end up lambasting about something for a while. Ignore my phone. Well, yeah, I saw you left me a link there, Lori. I was going to get to it after the stream, but Rooster, you got to go. All right, you stay well and safe. Thank you for being here, and it's good to see you as always. We will catch you on the flip side. The sausage without salt. Okay, I haven't done it before yet. Seems to be a bit of an involved process. I would like to do it, but it's not on the docket here right for me just now. But if I do it, I'll do a video of it. Absolutely, I will. First letter in the new rabbitry last night. Congratulations, Ragnarok. That is awesome. Oh, talking about feeding dogs if you didn't have dog food. Gotcha. Yeah, they'll eat vegetables. Mallory over at Quebec Homestead, when she was harvesting carrots last fall, she had a nice big bushel basket beside her. And her big old, any of you don't know her dog, it's a great big white Pyrenees shepherd. It's a great big white fella. He just lumbered up, grabbed a carrot off the top, walked away with it. He's a carrot pirate. They'll eat that. They'll eat sweet potatoes. They'll be eating all kinds of things. Apples. They love apples. Oh, Northern Girl, you on your way? All right, you stay well and safe. Guys and gals, if you don't know Northern Girl Hobbies, go give her channel a watch. I think she's got some playlists over there. She's needing some watch hours. So go help a girl out. Not to mention she's got great information and great videos. Okay? Your cat loves peas, like fresh ones or canned ones. I tell you, Lori, this week or late last week, I ate a can of canned. It was like Campbell's chunky beef soup or something like that. It was terrible. It had canned peas in it, and it reminded me of why nobody likes canned peas, because it's just got that canned pea smell, flavor to it. Pumpkin, yes, pumpkin dogs love pumpkin, 100%, and yes, it is good for them. Pumpkin seeds are especially good for male health, in case anyone didn't know on that. Not to mention they're delicious and tasty when roasted. Nice in a salad or just a salt roasted pumpkin seeds. Delicious and very good for you. You mostly leave the house strapped? In New York City? Yeah, there is lots of goofy out there. There sure is. Ask a friend out west about the salt. Hubby made lots there. Garage smells awesome. To my understanding, I was at one point I was looking for a little wine. Those little refrigerators you can get to keep wine in at very, very specific temperatures. I was looking for one of those to do some dry curing of sausages in at sort of, a very, very specified temperature, like below, obviously below room temperature. But then again, not quite as cold as your refrigerator. K-Dog, how you doing? Welcome. Oh, okay. Copy that, Dan. Gotcha. Canned peas, tuna, and onion salad. Well, the onion would cover up the canned pea taste, and so would the tuna, I suppose. Yeah, canned peas, I can't do them. I would rather have no peas than canned peas. Frozen is far better. And of course, fresh is optimal, but how is Mrs. Pilfer doing? Morning. I haven't lost one single yellow bean. Okay, for anyone who's new in here and doesn't know who Pilfer is a little bunny rabbit that showed up in my garden last year. And I planted a bunch of bush beans in the ground, yellow wax type beans. They grow about 6 inches long. They have a waxy bite to them, very, very delicious, buttery texture to them. And they're my absolute favorite type of bean. As far as green beans go, you can keep them. I'll take yellow beans all day long over those. So I planted a whole bunch of yellow wax bush beans, and the rabbit ate all of them, all except for 5 yellow beans. I harvested 5 beans, and I just ate them by hand. I didn't even heat up a pot of water to to cook those. I just ate them raw for the 5 that were there. And my brother, Metal for Breakfast, named that rabbit Pilfer. Seems Pilfer has had litter after litter after litter, and there's plenty of new young Miss or Mrs. or Mr. Pilfers in the area. But I haven't lost one bean yet this year. I did do a different growing method on my beans this year. However, I put in pole beans instead of bush beans. As it turns out, I don't care as much for pole beans as I do for bush beans. So again, experimental urban garden. Here's what I've got going on. And that's to test it out and make mistakes so that you guys don't have to, okay? You can learn from my mistakes. We can all learn together. I can go ahead and make the mistakes. You guys can learn from it, and we can all learn from it. So, and not to mention, in a really bad situation, there's lots of rabbit around to eat. What kind of pole bean did I grow? I think they were the, I have an open package left I hadn't used all of, and I'm harvesting some off the pole this year. I think they were a Kentucky Wonder, but let me check on that hickory cross just quickly. Yes, Hickory Croft. It was a Kentucky Wonder wax bean variety that I grew, and they grow really, really well. But what I changed up is I put my I elevated my beans off the ground. I grew them in buckets and a large trough that was elevated off the ground, and I sent a I put like a cage around it, a fortress. I made a yellow bean fortress for any of you guys and gals who may have watched some of my spring garden videos from this year. A veritable yellow bean fortress. Well, what's that now, Laurie? A manual. Oh, maybe to go through the instructions on how to change that belt? Well, thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you ever so much. Oh, for later. That's awfully nice of you, because these old the older ones here. Now, these ones here, like I mentioned earlier, these vintage pieces right here. I do have the original boxes that they came in and the boxes that they came in with the original literature. This one up here is a loaner from a friend. It's basically on loan for life. He's my best dead buddy's son. So he's like a brother to me. He's a kind of adopted brother. You want to put up a sign on your fence that Doug is loose. No, moon sprouts. There you are. Welcome. Yellow beans are delicious, buttery and waxy. I just love. I've always loved the flavor, the texture of them more so. I don't necessarily prefer them canned. Fresh frozen is nice and not bad, but fresh is best. I did see some while I was at the flea market today, but that particular booth, the vegetable booth at the flea market, they had a zucchini there, 8 inches long. Last week, $2 for one little 8-inch zucchini. So their prices are just outlandish. A photo of a guy peeking out from behind a tree. Nice. Who let the Doug out? You've heard of Guinness will do that. You seem to slowly dwindle. Oh, guineas. Okay. Yeah, very, very expensive vegetables at that market. So I didn't even go look at the vegetable booth. They had a very, very small selection as well. They usually have a table about 40 feet long, and then another one that goes another way for another 20 feet. Today they had about a 15-foot table, and that was it. I don't know if their gardens aren't producing, or maybe they sold out at other venues. Not sure. Lisa Devine, the flea market was very sparse today. I don't know. It's Saturday kids are starting to get ready to go back to school. So when I drove past to go out to the flea market, I had to drive past the Walmart, and I looked in the parking lot, and there was a lot of people in the parking lot. So I expect a lot of people were back to school shopping, because there wasn't a lot of people out yard sailing or at the flea market or anything. Kicking it Homestead. There you are. Welcome. It's good to see you. Sheila, this stereo sounds fantastic. And I mean, I'm running it through vintage Cerwin Vega speakers. also rebuilt. So the sound quality is amazing. But the unfortunate part of it is, I have it in this room. My living room, it's small. It's 10 by 14. Maybe it's not that big. So the unfortunate part is I've got my speakers and my stereo both in this room, and I can only turn it up to about 2.5 before the sound from the speakers starts to feed back through the needle. So it maxes out at a very low volume unless I go buy some longer speaker cable and put the speakers in and around the inside main body of the house. Now I live in an old 2-story brick, like a century home. The walls are a foot thick, and my living room is actually an addition onto the house that's on the exterior of those outside brick walls, which is why I have the stereo in here. So I can close the door, have it separated from the house, and when I want to play music, it's not going to bother any other tenant in the building. So that's kind of why I have them in there. And I mean, if I'm in here by myself and I have that turned up to 2.5, I don't need it any louder. The difference in percent of population of the people that have personal protection. In Norway, there's lots of boomsticks. Here, in, for instance, England, that is very rare. I would think rurally, more people in rural areas would have those things. You know, of course, hunting clubs and things like that. But people who are on farms and sometimes need to get things done, keep away predators, whatever it might be. Same in Australia, I'm sure. You would have those devices, but in major centers, yeah, strictly forbidden. Picking ghost peppers tomorrow. I've got some jalapenos that are ready to harvest, and I don't even like jalapenos. Gene W, you on your way? All right, you stay well and safe. It was good to see you here. You know what? Sometimes, Bjorn, sometimes, things don't mean anything unless, like, if you don't talk about it. I'm not sure if you understand what I'm saying or not. He took the Bose speakers, the tuner and record player to school? Well, he's well equipped. Finn is definitely well equipped, Lori. Wow, good for him. Sorry on you, but I mean, he's got his priorities right. That's hilarious. You ate a jalapeno and your mouth was on fire. Do you know what I do? Like, if I want a little hint of jalapeno flavor if I make a big pot of chili, I'll cut the stem off of like the top of the pepper and the stem off, and I'll put that in for that jalapeno flavor. That's all I need. I don't need scorching hot. If you want to put some extraordinarily hot, make you cry sauce on it afterwards, knock yourself out. But please keep that out of mine. Oh, Darn Sweet with 5 other guys. He's going to be popular then. He's going to have the tunes. Oh, yeah. Finn's got the party. Very interesting, Dan. Yes. Yogi Hollow. Very well, thank you. Hope you are also. It's good to see you here, and welcome. You took your Christmas tree lights. How are you supposed to have lights for Christmas for him when he comes home for break? Okay, I can see some folks here in chat making connections. That's always lovely to see. This is great. We put on these live streams, and the chat rolls and flows, and oftentimes folks, more times than not, folks that are chatting amongst themselves in the chat, bouncing ideas off the other, learning more than I can convey to all of you, which is fantastic. We all learn from the other that way, and this is good. This is how information is shared. Had dinner with your Italian friends, and they fried jalapeno in olive oil, garlic clove, just in the peppers, and cut it in long strips. Oh, Willie D, there you are. Welcome. How was that, Menashe? Was that good? Yeah, plenty of good conversation. Absolutely. Information sharing, what the weather's going to do, vegetables, fishing, meats, prepping. You know what? Not a lot of global news, which is a nice little break. You know, we hear the global news all week. Like, we can chat and chime in on that, but it's nice to not hear it sometimes. Tennessee Tactical. Oh, good to see you. How you doing? Welcome. I hope you and yours are well. 100 light string on 2 AA batteries. Don't celebrate Christmas, but could use them for emergency lighting. Yeah. Yep. Wicked storm in Minnesota. We had some rain, a little thunder and lightning earlier, but it didn't come up too much. It amounted to I didn't have to go water the garden. That's all. And a little bit of rumbling. That's all. Oh, it was nice, Menashe. Good, good. That's awesome. Lovely. Hey, North, your meat pigs go to process Tuesday. Off to freezer camp. Bravissimo. Now, Yogi, do you have any with your butchering package? Are you going to do the butchering yourself? Like, they're going for processing. Are they going to do the butchering and those things? And if they are they going to make any sausage with that for you? Says Colorado. That's all right. You fell asleep? All good. Oh, while you're tubing. And ended up 2 hours from your pickup spot. Country and a half away with nothing but a water bottle. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Now, that sounds like that's an interesting time. Yeah, we've been fairly fortunate with the amounts of rain that we have had. You know, for the times where we haven't had a whole lot of rain, it hasn't been that big deal to get the watering done. To be honest with you, here in my region, I had to do most of my watering at the beginning of the season, just when the gardens went in. Found a processor. Oh, he's going to do sausage, bacon, and smoked hams. Lovely. They handle it all. That's perfect. Yeah, okay, that's great. And especially if you like their the recipes that they use for those. You have to pay the premiums for that, but I mean, that's all part of it. Either that or it's more work on yourself, right? So I think Bjorn made it clear earlier. His favorite vegetable to eat is red meat. That's a vegetable, isn't it? Even if some gets stuck on your beard, you can save it for later, right? Oh, you're on your way, Monique. You know what? I'm gonna get beer food is the best. Cheers, Bjorn. I'm not having beer. I'm having rum. This rum is evaporating, basically. It's been in the glass so long, I have been neglecting it somewhat. Oh yeah, yeah. There's some sort of nutrient deficiency you'll get if you eat just rabbit. There's not enough fat in it. Not enough fat. Yeah, plenty of East Coasters of Canada, hundreds of years ago, died from eating just rabbit. There wasn't enough in their diet to sustain them, and there's lots of rabbit around, but that wouldn't sustain them. So, yeah, absolutely, you can die from eating just rabbit, 100%. Well, Klingon Princess, how do you do? Welcome. It's good to see you. Welcome from the north of California. I hope you are well. North of California. Now we got North Texas here from Whispers from the Dark. But guys and gals, I was just gonna kind of get ready to close this up. I've been rambling on here for going on near 2 hours, and I think we've kind of wound things up for the week. Glad we didn't really get into much political stuff. Don't you worry, there's going to be plenty more of that sort of stuff for you. I'm sure tomorrow, if not, come Monday, there's going to be plenty more of that. So, again, guys and gals that are new here, welcome. Thank you for coming. We like to keep things light in here on Thursday evenings. I do go live. I'll do live streams on Monday evenings at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And, you know, we may talk about some of the more serious issues then. But we like to do things like room raids, go out and support and promote and prop up and share some love with other maybe smaller channels who might be doing that. So anyone who doesn't know what a room raid is, come on back in another time and we'll find out what that is and take you on a ride. It's a ton of fun. It really is. And it really makes people's evening. So yeah, absolutely wonderful stream. Thank you all ever so much for being here. Wherever you guys and gals are, stay well and safe. Keep getting your preps on, okay? Always remember, hold up your brother and your sister, and don't ever look down on anyone unless you're about to help them up. With that, guys and gals, have a good night. And this is going to be North. Out for now. The biggest beard will be the leader. I got some work to do then, Bjorn. Stay well and safe, all. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Okay. Where's the buttons here? Here we go. Night, guys and gals. I need to go freshen that rum up.